Match week 11 of MLS Next Pro rolls along into Toronto, where Toronto FC2 take on Huntsville City FC this Friday evening. Jack Edwards here with you. So excited to bring you all the action on MLSNextPro.com. Both of these teams playing their 10th match of the MLS Next Pro regular season. For Toronto, the home side here today, they have 11 points so far, 10th entering the East entering this weekend. On the other side for Huntsville City, they also have just 3 wins so far this year, but 4 draws and 3 shootout wins after those draws give them 16 total points, sitting them at 3rd spot in the East entering this weekend. A few tweaks made by both teams, both looking for bounce-back results after defeats in their last contest. For Toronto, it was a 3-0 defeat at New York City FC2 when they last played, and the lineup for Gianni Cimini sees 5 changes made. Notably up front, a few tweaks have been made. Coming in, Andre Dumitru, as well as Joshua Nugent up front. Patrick McDonald played in a different, more midfield role, will play along that front 3 here today in the 3-4-3 shape. They're making some tweaks, some rotations up top. Hassan Ayari playing in a potential wingback role here today, trying to develop his versatility in the lineup for Toronto FC2. On the flip side, for Huntsville City FC, led by Chris O'Neill in his first full season, they make just 2 changes after a 2-1 defeat against Chattanooga FC in what was a top-table clash. The top 2 sides in the East played. It was a 2-1 win for the visitors, Chattanooga, when they beat Huntsville City. They make a few changes, notably in that midfield is Ethan O'Brien. He made his first team debut for Nashville in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday as a 73rd minute sub. He comes in here to start in an attacking midfield role here today with 2 goals so far this season. Flanking him is Christian Kofi on the left, who was on the bench for Nashville against Orlando City, unused, but may get some first team looks, the first team in Toronto here tomorrow. Jack Edwards with you. These 2 teams meeting for the 5th time all time. In the 4 previous meetings, the road team has won on every occasion. Most recently, it was Huntsville who won 3-2 when these teams faced in August of last year. Action gets going from right to left, with Toronto wearing their all-red kits and the all-white are Huntsville. They'll go from left to right here today. Patrick McDonald with an early touch in this near side channel. His attempted cross blocked out of play for a throw-in. There is Ayari. We'll leave it for Richard Chukwu, the left-sided center back. Make himself an option. Return it to Chukwu. Probing pass put forward into the box, aiming for Joshua Nugent. Unable to pull it off. 45 seconds into the match, and it's another throw-in for Toronto. 3 wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws so far this season. Shootout defeats in both of those draws as well for Toronto. They have just 1 point from their last 3 games. Looking for their first win since April 25th. That was at home against Chicago Fire 2. Here's Nugent playing along the end line. Mayaka got there first. This ball upfield is well dealt with by Italo. Center back for Toronto, making his 10th appearance of the season. The Brazilian, 8 of those being starts, has been ever present since joining the side last year, made 25 appearances in 2024. Mayaka over the top. It's a dangerous pass for Gill. The flag stays down. First foray into the attacking area for Huntsville. The shot deflected. Top of the box, it's allowed to spin, pushed away. Mayaka can't get a proper touch to it. Nugent carries away and wins the foul. Philip Mayaka fouls him from behind, and it's a free kick for Toronto FC2. Touched on the recent form for the home side. For Huntsville, they're coming off that 2-1 defeat in a closely fought affair against Chattanooga, a match that Chris O'Neill felt they controlled the better of. They had more possession, more shots. Felt that they potentially deserved to win in that match, but some clinical finishing from Chattanooga saw the visitors take all 3 points on the road. The 2 matches preceding that were both draws. At Carolina Core, it was a 0-0 draw with a shootout win, so 2 points from that match. And then against Atlanta United 2 in early May, a 2-all draw ended in shootout defeat, so 3 points in the last 3 games for Huntsville Looking to get back to winning ways, though, for the first time in 3 matches. Chukwu throws it in. Played back to Xavier Valdez. Valdez showing good composure. The 21-year-old goalkeeper. 13 caps for the Dominican Republic for Valdez. The last 3 years with Houston Dynamo 2, 50 appearances for Dynamo Dos in MLS Next Pro. That's his 4th appearance so far in 2025. He drops a pass over the top. It runs a little too fast for Gio Miglietti. Long-time Tacoma Defiance man. It's been a remade Huntsville City group. Chris O'Neill talking about a similar bedding in process. He joined the side in August of last year, had to get used to a new group of players. Offseason comes, about 4 players from the main cohort for Huntsville retained from 2024. A lot of new faces, including Blake Bowen, who also played at Tacoma with Miglietti. Carmichael, who played it to Valdez, mentioned Houston there. Carmichael was a draft pick coming from the collegiate ranks. Spent 3 years with Cal. Pass played over the top, Italo to Chukwu. So a new group again this year for Huntsville, and while O'Neill has a better grasp of his surroundings and the club, what they want to be doing for the first team on down, the group is still getting settled in, learning each other's tendencies. Mayaka coming in from Crown Legacy. He's on the ball right now. Mayaka, it's his 3rd Next Pro team he's featured for. Rapids 2 before Crown Legacy. Preceding that was a great collegiate career at Clemson. Carmichael swings one to the far side of the field. It's a good switch of play. Driving in the box, a low shot. First save had to be made by Adisa Di Rosario. He returns in net. The Toronto native makes the first save on the first shot on target of the match. It's low, one you expect him to make, but he doesn't spill it under potential pressure from O'Brien and Miglietti. Di Rosario coming in for Shafiq Wilson, who started last match, a 3-0 defeat at New York City FC2. It's rolled forward, aiming for Ayari. McDonald's pass runs too fast, and Valdez gets there. Di Rosario, the goalkeeper, opposing goalkeeper, in for his 8th appearance of 2025. Ball went back in the midfield by Valise. Carmichael. Mayaka. Here's Bowen. Carmichael. Good pass between the lines. Bowen moving from a right back role into almost an attacking midfield role. O'Brien dropping off, receives the ball here. O'Brien playing this one back. Mentioned during the lineups, but a first team debut in the Open Cup for Ethan O'Brien. Came on as a late sub. great effort by the first team to take down Orlando City 3-2 in a thrilling match. Helped see out the result for the visitors. That pass over the top, too fast for Christian Kofi. Kofi and O'Brien were two players that Chris O'Neill was unsure how much he would have them here today, based on their contributions in the build-up to the match on Wednesday. Any potential involvement here tomorrow. First team in Toronto for a match tomorrow evening in Major League Soccer. Mayaka. Gill, back to Mayaka. Strength shown by Gill. The nutmeg comes off, his touch too heavy. Back to Italo. Chukwu. Chukwu plays it forward for Yari. Sasana Yari. McDonald returns it. Mayaka intercepts. Elise spies a switch. Clever header down by Fisher. Got there first. Midfield for Sullivan. Rides one challenge. Referee was playing advantage. Will pull it back. Andre Dumitru was fouled in the process of dribbling that one forward. And Michael Sullivan can restart play with the free kick. Midfield for Sullivan, outside of the boot. It's a great pass, picks out Ayari. He's got Nugent in the area, and Bowen blocks off the pass, and it comes out for a corner kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by BMO, proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC 2. It's a corner coming for Toronto, the first of the match for either side. Sanayari, who won it, will be tasked with corner duties. Whips it in. It's claimed easily by Valdez under no pressure. He launches one out, catapults one to an attacking option, and on the break now are Huntsville. Here's Kofi. Has Gill as his other option. A lot of numbers back in red. It spins in the area. O'Brien trying to get onto it. Edge of the area, the attempted pass with the tackle doesn't quite come off. Gill can't latch onto it after Miglietti dove in for a challenge that results in a goal kick. Adisa Di Rosario will restart play with this goal kick. The header down, Nugent gets there first. Opportunistic from the center forward, waiting for options to join him. Bowen gets a challenge in. Two players tussling forward at the corner flag. Good Cruyff turn from Bowen to evade the pressure. The captain readjusts his armband and launches one forward. Miglietti gets stuck into the challenge. It's out for a throw in. Chukwu, Ayari, Chukwu for Nugent. Strong challenge put in by Carmichael, cleanly done. Veliz, Barrett, now Tyshawn Rose, the left back here today. Sixth start of the season for Rose in this left back role. Coming off a title winning season with North Texas in 2024. Missed the back end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 with injury. Talking to him this week, just learned what kind of resilience he has as a person, as a player, overcoming that injury, getting back into the side, and was crucial in that title run-in. Most of his assists and goal contributions from a deep line position coming late in the season. Big switch of play, Gill to Kofi. Here's Kofi. Rolls it along in the box, Veliz onto his left foot, parried away by Di Rosario for a corner. Again called into action, the goalkeeper for Toronto FC2, and Adiso Di Rosario equal to the shot from Moises Veliz. The Panamanians' left-footed effort expected to be saved, but Kofi can put a corner in now. No-nonsense header up by Sullivan, edge of the area. McDonald flicks it along. O'Brien to Kofi. Kofi gets it onto his left. Dancing around, delivers. The header by Stojadinovic pushes it away. Brought in by Henry. It's a good pass to Ayari. He puts the brakes on, waits for numbers. One of those is Dumitru. Great strength to ride the challenge. Swings one along for Patrick McDonald. McDonald's pass is under hit. He wanted an option in Chukwu, didn't get it. And Gill was fouled by Dumitru. And both teams can begin to reset their shapes after the corner kick. Here's Rose, the left back, given some space to climb into. And he has Kofi, who he'll overlap. Receive it is Tyshawn Rose. At the end line, dangerous idea, trying to find Miglietti. Put in a challenge in was Reed Fisher. He appealed for offside, but had to put the challenge in regardless. Make sure that if he got past him, there may have been an offside flag, but he took no risks. And it results in another corner for Huntsville City. Kofi's delivery. Carmichael challenges, can't quite get to it. Carmichael not able to keep it in play either. Comes out for a throw-in. Eats low. Was he fouled? Referee says no, he wasn't. Ayari, McDonald. Big touch forward, one for Nugent to chase. Mayaka, Bowen, and he's going to push it away from a cluster of white and red jerseys. A bit more space, and Rose can move it along to Kofi. Mayaka, that's a clever idea. Pass intercepted, pushed away to Veliz. Gill. Disciplined defending from Chukwu. Here's O'Brien. Chukwu able to get a challenge in. Veliz. Gill. McDonald's challenge, one too many, he loses out. McDonald to Italo. So one-touch passing, it's turned over. That's a foul from behind by Italo. Maybe a cheap one to give away to Ethan O'Brien. Not sure what options Huntsville had there. They will have options from the set piece now. Here's Ethan O'Brien, earns the free kick. He'll stay in the area to offer his services on this set piece. O'Brien delivers. Pushed along, the header at the back post, unmarked was Blake Bowen. His header goes wide. Flicked along by Barrett, and Blake Bowen will want that one back. had a bit of time as it came along to him at the back post. Couldn't test Di Rosario with a header. McDonald under all sorts of pressure. Gets it to Italo. McDonald clipped forward. Ayari. Chukwu kicks it over his head into the midfield. It drops for Miglietti. Trying to slide it to Kofi. Strong challenge put in. The clearance upfield by Fisher is no nonsense. One to chase, one to latch onto for Henry. Gets there first, rolls it back. Stojadinovic. Huntsville have had about 59% possession in the opening stages. This one's going to break for McDonald. His second touch, or his attempt to get a second touch, takes out the man. Brings down Veliz. Doesn't look like Melvin Christopher, our head official, is going to add any extra action to the situation. He just has a talking to with Patrick McDonald. Might be a last warning situation for the midfielder for Toronto. Gill over the top for O'Brien. McDonald returns it to Di Rosario. Pass blocked by Ayari. Rolls to Carmichael. Rose. That's a big challenge there. That is going to be a free kick going against Moises Veliz. Knocked down Michael Sullivan. Ball may have been going close to out of play, but the challenge, still a foul from Veliz, and it's a free kick right along that end line that can be restarted. Here's Italo. Here's Ayari. Flag goes up. Ayari was in an offside position on that long pass forward from Adisa Di Rosario. First time idea from O'Brien. Ambitious. Doesn't come off. Italo in the midfield. A lot of pressure there was Sullivan. And their first was Gill. Carmichael back to Valdez. Long ball forward from Valdez. Couldn't pick out Miglietti. Too high there from Di Rosario. Blocked here. Nugent, can he get on the end of this touch? He gets there before Valdez, but it spins kindly for Carmichael. Heart and mouth moment for Huntsville. And immediately Gill tries to start a move in the attacking sense. Kofi was waiting for it, didn't get to him. Henry cut it off. That was dangerous there in the build. Flipped forward for Nugent. Can't get there in time. It rolls out now for a throw-in. This portion of the match is brought to you by LG, proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC2. Halfway through our first 45 minutes. That was the closest that Toronto have came to threatening the Huntsville goal. All 5 shots in the match have been from the visiting side, who've also controlled more possession. They'll win a free kick right here. Richard Chukwu just slightly overrunning his touch and fouling Ethan O'Brien. 5 shots for the visitors, 55% possession for Huntsville. 2 of those shots have tested Adisa Di Rosario on target, but he's matched them both. Waiting for our first moment of real quality. Can that come from this set piece from Huntsville? O'Brien pushes one into the box. Gill fakes the shot, just pushes it along. Rose, O'Brien wanted to play that one over the top. His pass over hit, and it's out for a goal kick. Pushed along. It rolls out for a throw-in. No, it doesn't. Kept in play. Rose. Carmichael. Back to Valdez. Here's Veliz. Kofi, dangerous idea, gets it over the top. Strong challenge put in by Reed. Fisher had to get it right, and he did. Veliz now rolls on between the lines. Bowen trying to keep the play alive. McDonald forward to Ayari. With the outside of his boot over the top for Nugent. The flag goes up. It was real close along that back line. Joshua Nugent, the 17-year-old forward, trying to hold his run in time. Couldn't quite do so. Flag goes up. Offside is the call. Flag goes up. Similarly for Real Gill. Teams trying these long passes forward to mixed success. Strong headed challenge by Tyshawn Rose, one that he wins. Ayari. Carmichael gets there ahead of Nugent. Nugent's hold-up play works out. McDonald pushes it far side of the field, picks out Henry. Henry, some quick one-touch passing into the area, clipped towards the back post. Ayari down. It's pushed out of the box. McDonald, a header along to Chukwu. Ayari. Swarmed by two. A clever idea on the pass. Trying to get it out of his feet was Dumitru, just couldn't quite get away. Mayaka, Rose. Rose shows good composure to drop that one back. Pushed forward for Kofi. His touch, though, runs away from him. He gets out for a throw-in. Probably the best spell of attacking possession there from Toronto FC 2. Couldn't engineer a shot out of the move. But a bright spot here as we tick into the 30th minute. Chukwu, Ayari will use his speed against Bowen. Yes, he will. Ayari puts the brakes on. McDonald makes an underlapping run. His delivery took an awkward deflection off Carmichael, but Xavier Valdez was aware and able to claim it. Carmichael. O'Brien to Kofi as the runs of Rose and O'Brien joining him. Rose tried to find O'Brien, doesn't quite come off. Here's Henry. Back to Fisher. His clearance knocked away. Here's Kofi. Trying to dance past one. Henry puts a toe in, knocks it out for a corner kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud sponsor, fan of Toronto FC 2. This ball delivered into the area, pushed along, brought down by Gill, top of the area. The shot into the top left corner. A moment of sublime individual skill from Moises Veliz. It's the first for Huntsville for the Panamanian. And he picks out the top corner with some precision. Gill lays it off, and Veliz, just a slight, delicate kiss off the left post. Pinpoint accuracy. And the midfielder makes it 1-0 Huntsville in the first half. So it's 1-0 Huntsville. Moises Veliz, some goal. Ayari trying to instantly respond. Gill, the assister, putting a few challenges in. That's good strength shown in the midfield. It breaks kindly for Sullivan. Thought about a shot, rolls it instead to Henry. His pass may be a little under hit, and it allows numbers in white to get back. Stojadinovic, Fisher. Here's Italo. Chukwu. Ayari. Dangerous idea. Barrett intercepts. Mayaka. All the way back to Valdez. Kofi. Handball called against Joshua Nugent. There's frustration from Zach Barrett. He felt like he needed more options, trying to play that one out from the back. He, of course, hit the hand of Nugent, but press making things difficult. Joshua Nugent trying to cause problems. Here's Gill. His pass goes out for a throw in. A long ball forward, aiming for Henry. Mayaka, a good challenge in. It comes to Rose. Barrett. Kofi. High press being implemented here by Toronto, making it difficult for Huntsville to get out of their defensive third. Philip Mayaka. Carmichael. Here's Gill. Bowen, that was a bit of a heavy touch, but he does well to not immediately lose it. Second challenge, though, wins it back for Toronto. McDonald between the lines. Ayari, right as he cut infield as an option. The pass was played forward by McDonald, out for a goal kick. Mayaka, Bowen, here's O'Brien. Gill, allowed room to roam into. Kofi does bring it into his touch. Kofi, his shot blocked. It'll roll out for a throw in. Christian Kofi did well to keep that one in the mix. He was very close to just running away from his control. Veliz back to Mayaka. Mayaka over the top for Miglietti. What a touch! An important intervention from Italo. Miglietti did so well to bring this one down. Mayaka, one touch out of his feet. One touch down by Miglietti, his second one towards goal. A vital intervention, blocked away. And a corner is the result. Ethan O'Brien with the man to take for Huntsville City. O'Brien delivers, back post. McDonald up, not away. Veliz. He was thinking about the spectacular. It comes to O'Brien. O'Brien's shot deflected, and it's kept in play by Di Rosario. Well done by the goalkeeper to avoid conceding another corner kick. Moises Veliz was a player full of confidence. He was trying to bring that one down on the volley out of the sky with his left foot. May have been his teammate that got in the way, but in the end, with Toronto now in their build. Fisher over the top, aiming for Henry. Valdez able to get there first. Bowls it to Mayaka. O'Brien. Gill. Mayaka, a lot of space in the midfield. O'Brien opts not to use Bowen's run, goes to Carmichael. Visitors creeping towards goal, trying to find their second of the contest. It's Kofi. Veliz, Rose. Mayaka to Barrett. Barrett to Carmichael. It's a clever idea. In an offside position was Miglietti. Veliz didn't get there ahead of Reed Fisher. Referee's verdict is no. And that would have been a massive moment had the referee seen it differently, had Fisher been a moment too late. So here's Italo, his pass blocked by Gill. Real Gill, was he fouled there? Referee says no, O'Brien has it. Calling for it was Kofi. Just couldn't get it out of his feet. Is that a foul in the midfield? No, it's not. The referee letting them play. It was Sullivan who went down under the challenge most recently. But Melvin Christopher has seen every challenge in the last few moments as all above board. As Mayaka, his pass easily intercepted by Henry. Here's Sullivan. McDonald swings one across far side of the field. Target is Henry. Can he get there? Goes out for a throw. It's low. Chuck Wu. McDonald pushes one along. Ayari. Nugent an option in the area. McDonald an option to drop it off to. Edge of the area, Sullivan lifts it up, trying to get it back to Ayari. He gets it at the end line. Good challenge put in by Veliz. Who did that last touch? It went out last off of Huntsville. A corner is the result. Let's see that contentious moment a few moments ago. It's a great flick here. Miglietti is offside, and it looks like Fisher gets there ahead of Veliz. Important that he did so, because if not, it may have been a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity and a red card. The team in red stay 11v11. Their corner delivery. Valdez claims it well. Looks at his options. One of them is Gill. His pass runs too quick, and McDonald is able to play it all the way back to Di Rosario. McDonald loses out. Gill. Advantage being played. Referee will pull it back for the foul. May have been a foul right towards the tail end of that challenge between McDonald and O'Brien. Two players that clash at the collegiate level as well. O'Brien playing at Notre Dame, McDonald playing at Indiana. They met a few times, usual regular season battles, also in the postseason as well. Two regular college juggernauts. Two of their more recent standouts in the midfield, duking it out here in Toronto. Mayaka, Valdez, Carmichael. That's a poor pass from Bowen. Out for a throw-in. Ayari knocked away from his feet. O'Brien. O'Brien, was he fouled? Yes, he was, from behind by Reed Fisher. Rose, Kofi. Rose continuing his run. The underlap picked out. Not able to deliver, and that one goes out for a corner now. Tyshawn Rose does well to earn a set piece. He really had limited options. Kofi whips one into the 6-yard box. Up, not fully away. Carmichael in the area, lays it along. Another shot from distance from Veliz, pushed away again. Mayaka whips one outside. Turns into a fantastic pass to pick out Christian Kofi. Kofi, one-on-one with Henry. Kofi's delivery comes to O'Brien. Mayaka. Chukwu, a header forward. McDonald's pushes it along. O'Brien. Good challenge put in from behind by Ayari. Much to his frustration, it's out for a throw in for Huntsville. Here's Valdez. In the final seconds of our first 45, stoppage time pending afterwards. Valdez lifts one along. Here's a slight slip from Bowen, or rather Veliz. He entered into 1 minute of added time at the end of our first half. Valdez, long ball forward. A speculative one, picks out Kofi in the final seconds of our first 45. Christian Kofi into the 18, rolls it along. A shot from Rose. Slightly gets that one wrong, and it goes wide for a goal kick. Just watch him make that late run on the left side of your screen. Make himself an option for Christian Kofi. Lays it along. And left back with his right foot gets it wrong. Now for a goal kick. DiRosario forward. It falls for Veliz. Miglietti the target. Italo felt he was caught in the face. Referee concurs. And we'll give a free kick as we've had the 1 minute of stoppage time. Quick words between Melvin Christopher and Gio Miglietti before a free kick that will likely end our first 45. That it does. One goal, one special moment separates the sides at the break. Moises Veliz, a goal in the first half in the 32nd minute, separates the two teams. Huntsville lead. Our score at the half is Huntsville 1, Toronto 0. First half highlights and a look at our upcoming schedule are coming up later on, but first, April Marie Aguilar made her way to the land of 1,000 lakes to visit Minnesota United FC 2. She sat down with head coach Jeremy Hall in this week's Coach's Corner.
Welcome to this episode of Coach's Corner. I'm April Marie Aguilar. Joining me today is Jeremy Hall, head coach of Minnesota United FC 2. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. You've been with the club since its inaugural season in 2022. What does it feel like to you to have been with this organization since its inception?
Yeah, I've been very blessed, to be honest. I've gotten to work with some really good coaches here. I've learned a lot, and then to be able to step into a role as a head coach, I think just from a personal standpoint, I'm still learning and finding myself, and really grateful for the club to give me such a big role at the club. And so I'm really excited to be here, going on year 4, and just looking to continue the success that we've had so far.
And what ultimately inspired you to even want to become a coach?
Oh, that's a good question. Just from playing, I've had some really good coaches, some really bad coaches, and I always just felt like, I just want to be able to mentor and be around the guys. You can only play for so long. I still feel like being on the field is the next best thing, and so being able to share some of those experiences, positive and negative, that I've learned through other coaches, and just being involved in the game, I just felt like I would love to give back. And so I love my time on the field. I love being able to build relationships with the players. I love to help them get to where they ultimately want to be, and play at a high level. And so be able to help share those experiences and be on the field, it's been awesome.
And you mentioned having played professionally, and you did 8 seasons in Major League Soccer. Given your experience as a player, aside from mentoring, what else do you find yourself now implementing into your coaching career?
Just really being myself and just being real. A lot of coaches want to talk tactics, and I think that's a big part of the game, but for me, I talk more behaviors and being aggressive and playing with intensity, and for me, hating to lose. And so if you can show up every day and try and get better, I think at the end of the day, you give yourself a better chance to be successful, because at this level that we're at, there's a lot of good players, and for me, it's how do you separate yourself. And so I believe just like working hard, winning your individual duels. I like to say just like being a dog on the field. I think that can, really get you into that next level.
And how do you feel like that gives you an advantage, even having been a player, to just become more or build stronger relationships with your players?
Well, I think the relationship piece is soccer aside. It's getting to know these kids and their families, and how they're doing in school, and what are they doing on the weekends away from away from the field. And so I feel like whether they're playing, whether they're not, whether in a good moment, whether in a bad moment, in the second team space, we have guys coming down, so everybody's headspace is totally different. And so for me, it's just trying to be, I guess, a friend, first and foremost, just somebody that they can confide in. And then when they're on the field, when those relationships are built, I can really push them and try and demand all the other stuff out of them. And so for me, I really pride myself on that.
Lob ball up ahead, shipped over the keeper. Oh, how about that? The ball ends up with Chandler. He controls inside the box, flips it back in, and another goal for Minnesota.
And now going into year 2 as a leader of this team, how do you personally feel like you've grown, not just as an individual, but as a coach just within this year?
Yeah, well, you have the final say in a lot of things like that, right? And so when you're building out a training week, a training month, the details that go into the training session, when you're traveling, what flight do you want to get on, all these different things, everything comes to you. And so really being organized, really being just open, right? Like our assistant coach have a lot of say in that, right? Like I don't like to take everything and just giving them the platform to, be able to coach and lead like that. And so making everything super collaborative. I can step back at times and kind of put myself in when I need to, but sharing the space with the other coaches and the players has made me just be me.
And I admire that about you, is as soon as we told you that you were named Coach of the Month, you right away were like, it's not just me, it is a team and a collaborative effort. Ultimately for the team, what would you consider a successful season?
That's a hard one in our space. For me, I always believe that winning is a part of development. And so I think with anything, if you're going into a season, I think everybody says we want to make the playoffs, we want to win the championship. I think when you look at it like that from perspective, yeah, that's great. In our space and development, we want to help these guys get into the first team. And so when I see some of the guys like, Alex Smear play with the first team, or Loic play with the first team, some of the first team guys that are returned to play, DJ Taylor getting in, Griffin and Sam Shishoa, when these guys come into our space, it makes me feel good because, you know, they're getting fitter, they're getting stronger, they're getting more confident, and, you know, hopefully we can continue to see more guys from the second team get into the first team.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you guys this season, Coach. And we can't wait to see what else is in store for you all.
Thank you so much.
But in the meantime, y'all, this is it for this episode of Coach's Corner. Be sure to tune in to our next episode to see who I'll be talking to with next. We'll catch you guys next time. For now, I'm April Marie Aguilar. Bye.
I know I'm really attractive. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Huntsville with a 1-0 halftime lead on the road in Toronto at York Lions Stadium. We'll look ahead to the league's upcoming schedule in just a moment, but first, on our visit to Minnesota, April Marie Aguilar had a chance to sit down and meet 22-year-old forward Logan Dorsey from this week's player profile.
Thank you again for joining me on this episode of Player Profile. I'm April Marie Aguilar, and today joining me is Logan Dorsey of Minnesota United FC2. Thanks so much for the time, Logan.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Well, just this December, you were selected by Minnesota United in the Super Draft. Then you signed with the team in March.
Yep.
Then in just your second game, you scored your first goal, followed by a brace in the next. Describe to me what these last couple of months have been like for you.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a whirlwind, no doubt. I mean, you know, coming in, getting drafted, you know, an unbelievable feeling, and you get a call saying, hey, you have 2 weeks to come and prove yourself, and it's like, great, like, let's do it. And no, so it was great, you know, to get experience with the first team and to kind of get in that environment and see what it's like, and then, you know, an unbelievable feeling to sign a second team contract and you know, kind of get that going and get that process going is awesome. And, you know, coming in and scoring a few goals is great. You know, I'm glad to be able to help the team. So it's been fun, an experience for sure.
And what would a successful season look like for you?
For me, a successful season is, you know, our goal as a team is to win it all. You know, we want to win the league, and I strongly believe that we have the ability to do that with the players that we have and the talent we have, you know, coming up and down from the first team, you know, all the switches. Like, I feel like we've embraced that really well as a group early on in the season, and I think we're going to continue to do that.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about your brother, because he plays for Houston Dynamo. What was the competitive nature like between the two of you growing up?
That's a good question. You know, I think the competitive nature when we were kids was always wanting to beat each other. I think that blossomed into a really great relationship that I have with him now, more of a support role than a competitive role. But, you know, of course, as kids, like, you want to be better, you want to beat him, and, you know, I think that helped propel both of us into, you know, taking the next step in our career. So I think it was a positive, but now that it's blossomed into a good, comforting relationship, I think it's great.
And his journey, I mean, how has that influenced your own approach to the game?
Yeah, it's, you know, he's given me a lot of support throughout my career. You know, I've obviously, as every career does, like, you have a lot of struggles and you have a lot of things and going on, and I think that his help to me has been, like, without words, it's been probably the greatest thing in my career so far. Like, having someone like him that's been through it all, that's been through what I'm going through, is unbelievable. So having that support system is great, and I can't thank him enough for that.
And you mentioned struggles. How have those struggles actually led you to where you are now?
Yeah, I think, you know, I would say the biggest thing for an aspiring pro athlete is being able to deal with struggle. And, you know, dealing with struggle is hard for a lot of people, and it's hard for everybody. So being able to deal with that and kind of take positives and little things away from everything that you're doing, even when you're in one of those slumps, is, like, I think that's the greatest thing you can do as an athlete.
And is there a specific moment or perhaps piece of advice that Griffin has provided you that's had a significant impact on you?
I would say the biggest thing that he's done for me is kind of just been there. He's been there, you know, through the successes and saying, hey, like, you know, maybe you don't need to get so high on this, or, you know, when you're in a low, like, hey, you're good, like, you're right where you need to be. Like, I think kind of just being there constantly throughout the entire process has been great. Like, kind of keeping me balanced is one thing that he does really well, which I really appreciate.
And you're certainly lucky because you do have a brother who's a professional.
Yeah.
But with that being said, how important is it to just have that support system?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's everything. I struggle with it because I think everybody needs it, and I'm so grateful that I have it, but not everybody has it, you know? So I think, you know, it's a great advantage for me, and maybe being able to pass on some of the information that he gives to me to other players that are struggling within our team and, you know, close friends, I think is great to be able to do.
I love that. Well, best of luck to you and your team, Logan.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Player Profile. Be sure to tune in next time to see who I'll be talking to. For now, I'm April Marie. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Action.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake, and I take what I make and I flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Nearing our second 45 minutes on a rainy night at York Lions Stadium. Huntsville leading 1-0 as we near towards the end of our halftime show. Jack Edwards here with you on MLSNextPro.com. We can look at our first half highlights. It was a half that was controlled both in possession and shots by Huntsville City. We'll see this with some of the range of passing, the opportunities being generated by the visiting side. This is a low early shot from Tyshawn Rose, who was pretty heavily involved in that left back role on the overlap. A lot of these passes moving them out the left-hand side. This time Christian Kofi, the left winger, the target of this pass. And a good attempted shot right here from Moises Veliz. It's a marker of what's to come. That shot in that instance saved, but you're seeing really one-sided opportunities here for Huntsville City. That header just pushed wide by Blake Bowen. Then a quick corner taken. Push into play quickly. Rose puts it into the mix. Not fully dealt with. Gill brings it down along to Veliz, and this is some strike. Perfectly placed in the top left corner. No chance that Adisa Di Rosario can get anywhere close. And Moises Veliz opens the scoring, making it 1-0. Here's what's to look forward to in MLS Next Pro, a match tomorrow, Saturday night between Chattanooga FC and New England Revolution 2. If this result holds, a chance for Huntsville to pull a little closer to Chattanooga into that race for the top spot in the East. A lot of action on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday of next week. Toronto at home against Crown Legacy in their next match 1 week from today. Taking on Crown Legacy. Bit of a wait for Huntsville for the next match till June. It's the final match in May for the visiting side. They play against Orlando City B when they return home on June 6th. But a loaded Sunday coming up in MLS Next Pro. Two teams are back out on the fields. You saw those highlights. It was all shots from Huntsville. There was one lone shot from Toronto to tell you about. It was 1-11 in terms of shots after that first 45. Possession also going 58-42 in favor of Huntsville. So it's much like their match against Chattanooga. They're controlling the shots, controlling the possession. But against Chattanooga, they could not get the decisive moments to go their way. They lost 2-1 6 days ago. Today they lead 1-0 courtesy of the first goal in Next Pro from Moises Veliz. The Panamanian separates the sides. One more moment will we have in our second half as Toronto bring the ball here in their all-red kits, facing off against a visiting Huntsville side in their white kits, moving from right to left. Jack Edwards here with you. Beginning of match week 11. Got going earlier today. with a shootout as action got going earlier on here on Friday between New York City FC 2 and Chicago Fire 2. Rose forward. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien rolls it. Kofi puts one in. Rose can't quite get there. The back heel. Gill drags it back onto his right foot. An important intervention. A block by Italo. A corner's the result. But within a minute, Huntsville already threatening again. Gill. His Cruyff turn on the fake shot. Generated an angle. It's important to close him down. It results in a corner. It's the first and second 45 minutes for the visiting side. O'Brien delivers. McDonald returns it to the sender. Ethan O'Brien. Low delivery. It's pushed away by Dumitru. Toronto can't get out of their own half. Miyaka just puts one into the mix. Good bit of strength shown. It goes over the head of Nugent, and Bowen gets onto it. Gill delivers. Henry pushes it away. A chest pass attempted for Kofi, doesn't quite come off. A good touch from Henry, able to roll it forward to Nugent. Here's Joshua Nugent. Holds off one challenge. Second one coming in. Results in a corner. Goal kick, rather. Fought for a moment there at last touch. Huntsville. Assistant referee spotted a deflection. One that Melvin Christopher, the center official, referenced with his hands. A slight deflection off of Nugent. Results in a goal kick. So the steady flow of threatening moments for Huntsville continued after the interval. They'll love the way they continue the tempo, continued the aggressiveness. Rose, Miyaka. Rose's touch gets away from him. Nugent onto it now. Dumitru. Henry flanking him, uses his option. Low delivery comes along to Nugent, blocked. And Dumitru can't get there before clearance from Barrett. McDonald brings it down. Ayari. Back to Hassan Ayari. Kept it in play. It may have crossed that end line. McDonald, quick fire pass and gets it to Hassan Ayari. Dumitru. Nugent pressing, trying to win it back. First touch from Miglietti. Goes over the head of his teammate, out for a throw. So back to this really nice attacking sequence. Nugent's shot blocked, didn't quite able to get his feet set. May have had more time than he realized to get that one under his control and have a shot with a bit more power and placement. Stojadinovic. Italo. Good cushion touch. McDonald. Strength from Carmichael. Miyaka. Dinovich, Sullivan, tackle put in, Rose, Kofi turned over. Nugent able to drop off. He's fouled. It's a free kick, and it's going to be the first yellow card of the match. Go to the center back, Kevin Carmichael. Carmichael, the player, booked. That's a free kick. They had 2 corners. Toronto did in the first 45. Let's see that challenge again. Ball's just going to come into the midfield here after a poor giveaway. Just a challenge from behind, one that Carmichael is really never going to win. Result in this free kick, resulting in Carmichael being booked. It means that Patrick McDonald can deliver. Lifts one in, the header down across goal by Fisher is blocked away. Veliz got his head in the way. Another set piece will come for Toronto. It's a corner this time. Ayari delivers, dangerous delivery, it goes down. Gill cleared up field. One for Kofi to chase. Chaku all the way back to Di Rosario. Punts one long for an opposing goal kick. Mayaka. Bowen. His pass turned over. McDonald not able to latch onto it. Fisher tugs back O'Brien. And a first half that saw no yellow cards sees 2 in quick succession for center backs for both teams. Reed Fisher joins Kevin Carmichael, being booked by Melvin Christopher. It's a good drop of the shoulder by O'Brien. Fisher knows what he's doing here. He knows that the defensive shape of Toronto is a little stretched, and the trade-off of having to play the rest of the match on the yellow card is well worthwhile, in contrast to ending that attacking sequence. Flipped forward, Italo brings it down, hooks it upfield. Enough done there by Barrett, maybe not what he intended to go backwards with his header, but Philip Mayaka sweeps it up and plays it to Carmichael. That's some pass by Carmichael, picks out Veliz. Veliz to O'Brien, moves it along to Tyshawn Rose. Kofi clipping one into the box. A brilliant pass brought in, but offside flag is up. Moises Veliz went too soon. This portion of the match is brought to you by BMO, proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC 2. Di Rosario to Fisher. Stojadinovic. This swung out to the far side of the field. Ayari can drive at the defense. Roll it along to Patrick McDonald. First time delivery to the back post, over hit. Only goes to Valdez. Kofi. Italo, brilliant step into the midfield line to win it back. Dumitru, it's behind Nugent. Belize, Gill, flag stays down. Real Gill gets his footwork all wrong, but Carmichael cleans up the mistake. Mayaka. Belize, Italo, calm as ever. The commentator's curse there. Italo brought down under the challenge, but does well. Gets back up. McDonald to Ayari. Ayari one-on-one with Bowen. A drop of the shoulder. A bit of speed. Ayari. Carmichael pushes it away. McDonald. Here's Ayari again. Pulls off the nutmeg. Was he fouled? Referee says no, he wasn't. Mayaka, under some pressure, evades it. Picks out Gill. Rose. Put his head down and run. Returned to Rose by Kofi. Across goal, and it falls into the grateful arms of Adisa Di Rosario after a deflection by one of his center backs. Into the midfield for Sullivan. Back now to the back line. A grateful back line of Toronto. And it stays 1-0. That deflection could have gone anywhere. And it fell kindly for their goalkeeper. Throw-in taken by Henry. Sullivan. Fouled from behind by O'Brien. May not have been the second challenge, may have been the first one. McDonald's going to restart play. With the free kick here, they put some numbers forward and try and deliver. It appears they will. McDonald delivers the header down. It fell for Nugent. It was a good header across by Fisher. Nugent swung at it with his left, couldn't get the proper contact. Here's McDonald. Sweeping pass along to Henry. Malik Henry looking at options, drops one in. Carmichael stoops to get a header to it. And it comes along to Christian Kofi. Winger fouled there by Sullivan. Kofi slips trying to turn. Stojanovic. Throw, plays that one across. Italo. Chukwu. Here's Italo. Over the top by Fisher. Valdez does well to stoop down, get ahead to it. Dumitru with this throw in just past the hour mark. Own goal of the match scored by Moises Veliz in the 32nd minute. A fine right-footed strike in the aftermath of a corner. Kept in play. O'Brien, some pass to pick out Miglietti. Miglietti waiting for options and support. Taking off his foot. Sullivan. Stojadinovic. Here's Henry in fields. Attempted pass there by Sullivan to Henry, doesn't quite come off. Goal kick as the result, and it's a chance for some substitutions now for Huntsville City FC. Moises Veliz and Real Gil will make way for Pep Casas and Alan Carlton. Casas and Carlton were the two players who were brought out of the starting lineup after the 2-1 defeat to Chattanooga last time out. And Veliz, the goal scorer, makes way. Casas and Carlton coming on in their place. Rolls to Sullivan. Dumitru. Sullivan. Henry. Good footwork here, trying to open an angle. It's pushed away. Before this throw-in is taken, it'll be two subs now for Toronto. Like three, rather. Andre Dumitru and Patrick McDonald will make way. Micah Chisholm, Jamari Nolan, and Lucas Olguin will all be coming into the match. So there's Dumitru making way. Also coming out will be Michael Sullivan, so a change in the captaincy. McDonald also making way. Far side of the field. So three changes made by Toronto as they chase this deficit they find themselves in. Throw in, quickly taken. Nugent gets involved. Fisher gets a good toe to it, trying to play a pass against the grain. Olguin, Ayari rolled back to Ayari. Can he keep it in play? As I kicked off him last, yes it was. Good defensive work by Carmichael. And it's a goal kick is the results. You see Jamari Nolan, just confirmation of some of these subs coming in. Nolan, 15-year-old forward. Olguin making his 7th appearance of the season. Chisholm his 6th. A slight tactical tweak as well. Marco Stojadinovic looks to be moving a bit more centrally from a wide position. This one's played forward. Carlton, that's some really good control to keep it alive for O'Brien. Spins kindly for Huntsville, out for a throw-in. O'Brien, a drop of the shoulder. Carlton, substitute for Huntsville, 2 goals, 2 assists so far this season in 7 appearances. A good weapon to have off the bench. Group that's developing its depth, its versatility. Kofi skips past one. 2 challenges from Stojadinovic. Kofi into the box. Slows down onto his right. And that one goes just wide. A deflection along the way. A corner is the result. Adisa Di Rosario was leaning the wrong way. Just couldn't quite get it towards that far post. The deflection certainly taking a lot of the power off of it from Kofi. He's proving to be a handle. A lot to handle on this left-hand side of the attack for Huntsville. Ethan O'Brien has this corner kick. Before he will do that, Melvin Christopher wants to have a chat with Gio Miglietti, who's running circles around Adisa Di Rosario. Corner delivered. Eatslow gets ahead to it. It comes along to Carlton. He wanted a handball. Looked like it hit the head of his opponent. Carmichael flicks it along to Nugent now. Puts one over the top. What a pass for Hassan Ayari. The flag stays down. He's one-on-one and he equalizes. Goal number 2 of 2025 for Hassan Ayari after some pass from Joshua Nugent. For his first professional assist. We're all even in Toronto. Look at this, the vision to drop that one. You can't be offside when you're in your own half. And Hassan Ayari showed speed, showed composure, and showed a clinical finishing edge to bring us back even at 1. Six goals last year for Ayari, 2 goals, 2 assists now in 2025. Just a ruthless move in transition. It's just the 4th shot of the match for Toronto. Contrast that with 13 for Huntsville. Ball forward. This one not able to find its target of Micah Chisholm. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ritz, proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC2. In the midfield, Nugent just can't get his feet right on pass forward from Olguin. Going forward, had some hit or miss moments. We saw a really big hit moment a few moments ago with the assist. Good press by Henry. It had to be a challenge from Carmichael, had to step in, concedes the corner. Huntsville on the ropes a little bit. It's a match they've controlled for large spells, but they've conceded the equalizer. They're experiencing a bit of pressure. Marko Stojadinovic, the man tasked with this corner kick. Numbers driving into the box as it's pushed short to Ayari. He clips it in. Eatslow trying to get ahead to it. It's knocked up field. Kofi gets to it. He's got Carlton as an option. And it's a 2-on-1 with Numbers coming from behind. Kofi stops it. His shot creeps in. Adisa Di Rosario can't keep it out. And Christian Kofi has 5 on the year. Retakes the lead for Huntsville. Another counterattack, this time for the visitors. He had Carlton with him. 2 swarm him in red. He puts the brakes on, and Di Rosario thought he could keep it out, but he falls to the ground in frustration. Christian Kofi's shot had just too much juice on it. counterattacks after set pieces. One apiece for the two sides in the second half. Combine that with the first half goal from Moises Feliz, and we get a 2-1 game for Huntsville with a little less than 20 minutes of regulation left to play. Moises Feliz, Hassan Ayari, and now Christian Kofi, our goal scorers here today. Appreciate you joining us on MLSNextPro.com. Tee you up for the first team match between these sides tomorrow in Major League Soccer in Toronto, taking on Nashville. Christian Kofi was on the bench for the first team during the Open Cup on Wednesday. Didn't feature, was an unused substitute. Ethan O'Brien has been involved in things so far. Was used off the bench. No nonsense header from Carlton. Just flicks it along, it's out for a throw. Good touch. Ayari, he's gonna have a crack through a crowd. Valdez makes the save. Given some time to shoot, Ayari took it. It was a tight angle. Carlton. Henry cuts it back. Edge of the area, just losing his footing there was Jamari Nolan. It's pushed away. Subs being prepped for both teams. That will take place likely at the next dead ball. Henry, his pass, trying to return it to Nolan, is blocked. And a chance now for the substitutions to take place. Anthony Bostonberry and Costa Iliadis will come in for Toronto, while Damian Barker-John and Malik Henry Scott will be coming in for Huntsville. Joshua Nugent and Malik Henry, the players that will be making way. Ethan O'Brien coming out for Barker-John, and the current match winner, Christian Kofi, coming out for Malik Henry Scott. So 4 subs have been made now by Huntsville, 5 by Toronto. All the changes for Gianni Cimini have been made. One more left in the back pocket of Chris O'Neill in Huntsville, should they wish to use it. Confirmation of those subs, top left of your screen. Over the top, aiming for the run of Iliadis. Can he get there? No, he can't. Asking too much from the forward to chase that one down. Nolan chasing after the ball forward. Bowen gets there first. Captain under the pressure of Micah Chisholm. Back to Carmichael. Fisher. Fisher, one of 3 draft picks from Toronto that have been featuring heavily. Back to this in a moment after this move from Toronto. Rolled forward, return to Nolan. Jamari Nolan puts the brakes on. It breaks kindly for Toronto. Olguin able to move it along near side. Iliadis. Iliadis again. The 1-2. It comes off. Delivery by Iliadis. Bounces kindly for Ayari. Back to Stojadinovic. Ayari, an incidental touch, almost turned dangerous. Sliding challenge by Carlton. This ball bouncing every which way, not sticking to anybody's foot right now. That's a big touch by Barker John. It's 3-on-3. Barker John, that's a good challenge put in. Lucas Olguin stayed disciplined, didn't bite until he had to. Pokes the ball away. Quick pass, he moves it far side. The flag goes up though. Offside is the verdict. This portion of the match is brought to you by MasterCard, a proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC2. Casas, Carlton, Barker John, his touch out of his feet onto his left, and it's just wide. Damian Barker John, the loanee, in search of his second of the year. Did well to bring it under his control, but his shot creeping just wide of the post. Ayari. Ayari delivers. Bowen brings it down under some pressure. Bowen. Casas able to turn at the edge of his own 18-yard box. Pings one out to this near side. It's Malik Henry Scott playing it to Carlton. Alan Carlton. Barker John. Carlton. Rose. Carmichael. Back to Valdez. Rose. One of his shoes untied. It's his right. He used it to play a beautiful pass. What a stop by Adisa Di Rosario. Denies Gio Miglietti with some stop. The laces going every which way for Tyshawn Rose. It was some pass, and Miglietti must have thought he definitely scored the third. But Adisa Di Rosario read it all the way and able to paw it out and keep it 2-1. Keep Toronto in the match. That would have been a goal that almost certainly would have secured the results for the visitors. Instead, it's Alan Carlton with a corner. Pushed away by Olguin. Retrieved by Casas. He's able to pick his head up. Ping a pass. It breaks, edge of the area. That shot scuffed wide. Malik Henry Scott not able to put one on frame. Over the top. Rose tussling. Fullback knocks it out for a throw. Iliadis to that one. Good passing. Mayaka reads what they were trying to do. Miglietti. Casas trying to also win it back. Olguin stepped in, played it backwards. Bostonberry. The delivery goes all the way towards this near side. Iliadis keeps it alive. Stojadinovic. Bostonberry. Was he fouled? Referee wags his head no. Ball played into the channel for Miglietti to chase. Always asking a lot from the center forward to challenge there. Good work by Toronto. Iliadis, great pass, a great challenge. Kevin Carmichael steps in with a vital intervention. Costa Iliadis just rolling one, trying to pick out Jamari Nolan. And a perfectly timed sliding challenge from Carmichael. Denies the striker, the substitute Jamari Nolan. Hassan Ayari takes this corner kick. Header flicked along. Back post shot. Again blocked by who else but Kevin Carmichael. 5th start of the season for Carmichael. First year pro. Just able to stay alert. Move along, shuffle his feet, make sure that his goalkeeper didn't have to think about making a save. The result is another corner, another one being taken by Ayari. In-swinger this time. Rolls to the edge of the box. That was some effort from Marko Stojadinovic. He got under it. It would have been goal of his life, goal of the season, if that one just a little bit lower. Pass there from Valdez is a little off. Turned over for a throw-in, taken quickly. Tyshawn Rose trying to carry this one away. The challenge from behind is clean, says the referee. Second one, though, breaks kindly. Trying to return it to Rose. Casas. Breaks to Carlton. Miglietti is central. He brings it in, but the flag goes up. Offside was the verdict. There's going to be a kick of the ball there by Malik Henry Scott. He finds himself booked for that time-wasting maneuver. Miglietti was appealing to the assistant on the far side that he wasn't offside. Saw it differently, and that is the final actions for Gio Miglietti, who makes way for Isaiah Jones, the 5th and final change for Huntsville City. Good footwork, Ayari Trying to play it to the far side, it comes off. Options left and right, it's rolled along. Edge of the area, Stojadinovic. Great challenge put in by the recent substitute. Numbers moving forward, it's Carlton. He's got Isaiah Jones. Gets to it here, dragging Fisher out wide, rolling it back to Carlton. Alan Carlton rolls a pass into the area. Italo steps in front, only as far as Mayaka. Casas. Chance now for Parker John, returns it to Bowen. Bowen has a shot. Another big save by Di Rosario. His team is still down by a goal, but he's doing everything he can to keep his side in the match. Denied Miglietti with a superb right-handed save a few moments ago, and this time it's with two hands on a near post shot from Blake Bowen, the captain of Huntsville. Less than 3 minutes till we hit stoppage time. Some numbers are forward for Huntsville, but they may opt to go short here and not risk another counterattack. That's how they conceded the goal to Asana Yari. Clever idea. Casas clips it in. Not fully dealt with. Point blank goes home, but the flag goes up for offside. Malik Henry Scott may have gotten a touch to it, and it's chalked off. So important to note here, watch the goalkeeper's positioning. He becomes the offside line. It is not the goalkeeper, or second to last defender, I should say. The goalkeeper can sometimes become the offside line. That's a great pass over the top, but Valdez reading it. So Henry Scott was in an offside position because he was past the second to last defender, which became Di Rosario. Offside, the correct verdict on replay there. Still 2-1 Huntsville lead. They've had some great chances to put the third and likely decisive goal past Toronto, but they haven't quite gotten it done. The home side stay in this. They have a throw in. Fisher. Big challenge put in by Olguin. This one bounces out favorably for Huntsville. Not a deep throw in. It's out for a goal kick. Di Rosario. Pass there intercepted, but it falls Conley for Toronto. Dangerous pass for Nolan. Can't get his hips sorted, and his shot goes wide. It was a good move to work the angle. Chisholm, a decent pass to Nolan, but he wanted to take it on his right foot. It wasn't really the angle for his right foot. We enter into 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of our match today. Huntsville trying to see out this victory. They earn a free kick. Carlton. Rose. Carlton returns it to Rose. Tyshawn Rose. His attempted cross blocked. It comes out for a corner kick. More time to burn off. A chance to keep numbers forward. You'd be stunned if Huntsville try and deliver a proper corner into the box with numbers forward. They instead will likely opt to kill time in the corner. Alvin Christopher points to his watch. Says he's keeping track of the time. Comes to Carlton. Carlton. Strong challenge put in. Another corner is the result. Throw in Huntsville. This one a Huntsville throw. See a wry smile there from Alan Carlton. Looked like it may have last touched Huntsville, who have done very well to keep it in their own half for the entirety of the 2 minutes of stoppage time so far. Again thrown in for Henry Scott. Again out for a throw in. Been a foul throw. Fisher launches it in. Here's Valdez, or DiRosario rather. Booms one forward, his pass intercepted, turned over. Mayaka. You hear shouts of corner from the technical staff, the bench of Huntsville. It's out for another corner. This ball, the furthest it's gotten since we've hit stoppage time, has likely been about 20-30 yards from the Toronto goal. Very far away from where they're searching for an equalizer. Rolled in again to Henry Scott. Another throw in. A game management masterclass on show from Huntsville. It rolls out of play. It's a corner. There's going to be a yellow card. Time wasting there. And the substitute Isaiah Jones blocking the pass, getting to the corner flag. So Jones joins Henry Scott and Carmichael as Huntsville players booked. We've had 4 minutes. We'll see how much more the referee adds on, if any, based on time wasting. Henry Scott just kicks it off the pressing defenders. Here's Carlton. Henry Scott. Jones just boots that one to the other corner. And they'll do it all over again over there, will they? Toronto win it back. Is there enough time for one counter? Here's Nolan. Skips past one challenge. He's brought down. It's a free kick. It's not full time. It's going to be a yellow card as well. And it's going to be a time for one toss of the dice. They could not escape their own half. But Toronto, as we tick close to the end of 6 minutes of stoppage time, may have a chance to test the goal of Huntsville one more time. Blake Bowen, the man who was booked. Huntsville's time wasting in the opposing corner flag worked almost to perfection, but there's been enough time for one moment for Toronto. What can they make from it? Hassan Ayari delivers. Valdez climbs, claims. and will try and see out victory for Huntsville. That will do it. Huntsville see out a victory on the road. And they take 3 points in Toronto by a score of 2-1. Let's look at our man of the match. They had conceded moments earlier to make it 1-1. Christian Kofi leading the counter. He glances at Alan Carlton, sees him as an option. He also sees the back of the net as an option. Puts the brakes on, and his finish, it's not the prettiest, but it is decisive. Kofi, the goal scorer, joining Moises Veliz and Hassan Ayari as goal scorers in the match. The decisive goal wins it 2-1. Huntsville next up at home on June 6th against Orlando City B. 1 week from today, Toronto next at home against Crown Legacy. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Jack Edwards. Once again, our final score, it's Huntsville 2, Toronto 1. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great rest of your Friday night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.